How are you?
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. You tell me what about you?
I'm also quite happy and long time no see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Ma'am, would you like to give me your short intro in nutshell?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. As you know, my name is Nutan and I'm from Mathura. I'm a homemaker and I run a YouTube channel as well. If I tell you about my qualifications, then I'm graduate from commerce and I'm blessed with two kids. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you for the lovely introduction. Ma'am, today I just want to know that though we do lots of practice daily in order to speak, in order to improve our speaking,
Yeah.
and in order to improve our other skills like listening, reading, writing, and speaking as well. But when it comes to result, so we always say that we are not getting result, we are not doing this, what's happening. So sometimes people say that they are working hours to hours to get fluency and to get a good result and to get a good appreciation as well, but they are not getting, they are waiting since long. So how can I make our practice more productive? Would you please like to share your views about this? How we can make?
Absolutely, I would love to. See, it's not about just, just doing speaking practicing. It's about like how often we speak, how often, how much we try to speak in English and do our speaking practicing. Timing really important. Like how much time, like we
Yeah.
need to like immerse ourselves with this English language. If I tell you on the basis of my experiences, there was a time I used to talk when it comes to like make my own video when I used to make, then I'm about that scenario I'm saying things. So I used to that moment just talk in English. That like if the video is 5 to 10 minutes, yeah, that 5 or 10 minutes I was talking. And apart from that, I was not doing my speaking practicing. It was just all about when it comes to make my own videos. And
Hmm.
since when I got connected with some like Skype groups, so there I like found a lot of people. So I can say it's not about just getting the platform apps or getting yourself enrolled in any kind of courses. It's about how
Yes.
much you are like put in efforts.
Hmm.
A person
Really.
has to put in efforts with the consistency, I can say. And we must take out time. It's not about just 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It's about all the time throughout the day we can do this speaking practicing. Let's say we can try to think in English initially. It seems like a very harder thing, very difficult, that
Hmm.
it's a hard nut to crack, but it is not. It's all up to us. Do we have the kind of tenacious, are we very like adamant or not to learn this English language? That really matter high. Like how much you are determined to learn this English language, that really matters here. So if you are so much determined, having the conviction, you are like a kind of the things like kind of steadfast within yourself, like I have to do it anyhow. That moment you will do it. Like you will definitely try to do things so that you can try to think in English. And anyone can do this. Like we just have to translate things from our mother tongue into English. It's not really harder. We are the person, we have made this so much kind of baggage or pressure thing, that it's kind of pressure things, bugbear. It's not a bugbear, we have made this a bugbear. We can put in efforts and side by side like try to read things. And when it comes to read things, read it out loud. That really helps, I can say. In my case, this happened with me as well. I would not just say just by talking with people. I used to read things, I used to search words from the dictionaries. And anywhere, like whenever I come across some words, I write down. So this also really helped me out. And the main thing is that first and the foremost thing is also that like we have to speak in English. If there is no one, then talk with yourself. See, whenever we open our mouth, it's a kind of form of speaking. So why don't we talk that moment in English? Why all the time going with our language? If you're really so much consistent, having the
Hmm.
kind of conviction in yourself, then say things in English. So that is how, just by doing these kind of little efforts, we can have a very good command. And yeah, we can retain our motivation as well, because that moment we are getting the result. It's not a like a overnight process. It takes time.
Really.
Gradually we'll feel the a drastic change. I would say a remarkable change in just 1 month. But it is
Yes.
we have to put in efforts.
Yeah. Actually, thanks for your valuable suggestions. What you have given regarding productivity. I also consider that if you want to do your practice productively, so that time you need to spend quality time with your learning. Can also get result within 30 to 40 minutes also. But if you are taking that 30-40 minutes wisely, you are actively entangled in that situation. So that time you
Absolutely.
are able to get result. Yes,
Absolutely.
because if we just immerse ourselves in English in this manner, like for 30 minutes, we for 15 minutes we are going to listen any videos, and for 10 minutes we are going to do speaking practice, and for five minutes we can depend on reading skills and as well as writing skills. So that is also very important. We can get a result out of these habits also. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it depends, and that how much consistent and how much productively you are just indulging yourself in the language.
Yes, yes, agree.
Yeah. And if I talk about the speakings and speaking in our mother tongue, so since childhood we are just practicing our native language. So if we will not practice our native language when we are just introducing ourselves with English language, so we will not forget our native language, because since childhood it is in our habit. We will
Yes,
not forget. So why we are just practicing native language again and again? And we should devote our time to this language.
yes,
And
yes.
after that, simultaneously we are also speaking our native language with our relatives and kith and kins also as well. Yeah,
See,
really,
the thing is, no, it's not about like we are not going to forget our language, our mother tongue, okay. But
really.
since English is secondary language, okay, but we
Mm,
can also make a good connection with this English language. We need the kind of feeling,
yeah,
emotions. We need to emerge it within ourselves. Like, okay, this is the language, and this is just a language. It has nothing to do with the personality and intelligence. But there are many people they associate that the person speaks good English. This means he's kind of brilliant person, genius person.
really,
In today's society, today's scenario, this happens. People, measure on this parameter.
really.
Like, if you speak English good, this means you are like good personality, you are so genius, you are well educated, like this. But English, we can also have a very good command, and we can make a very good connection with this English language. Because there are many people they fear of this English language. So if you fear, this means you are that moment drifting away from this English language.
Yeah,
And if you really want to have a good command, want to make a good connection with this English language as you have in your mother tongue, this means
yeah,
you have to, just to plunge into that, plunge
really.
into that, and just pour your heart out that okay, I am to learn this anyhow. Just give it your 100%, I can say.
Yeah, very nice. And even if in this scenario we say that English is the certification of your personality, your versatile personality, so it will not be hyperbole. It is quite true. Nowadays, people see the things in this manner only. Yeah.
Yeah, happens.
Yes, and ma'am, one more thing I want to know. As you have also noticed that whenever we just have a talk with the person to whom we assume that his or her English is better than I, so that time we feel little bit nervous. So why it happens and how we can overcome this problem?
It's very natural, I can say, and
Yeah,
it has to do with your emotions. First of all, when we just come across, let's say hypothetically I'm saying, like if I come across any person who speaks very good, far better than me in English language,
yes,
okay, So it's really natural thing that I feel like myself, like like I'm nothing, I'm like insignificant, and I start like belittling myself. I
Hmm.
start undermining myself. Why? Because I think like the other person is great, the other person speaks very good, and
Hmm.
like he speaks better than me, like was this. So that moment I think we lose our confidence, and the kind of courage earlier we assembled, we lose that. The courage to speak in English, we sometimes we lose that. So at that moment, first of all, we have to just take care ourselves, our emotions. Like, okay, the other person, okay, speaks good, it's okay, but I'm also not a small fry. Okay, I'm also very good at English. Like with this we have to think, and we should do the self talk with ourselves, and give a kind of positive affirmation, like I'm quite
Yes.
confident, and I can do this, I can tackle all adverse situations and all, and I can deal with this people, this guy. So these kind of things we have to basically say it. Rather sometimes it it appears like artificial, kind of superficial, like why I'm saying this, I'm quite shivering, I'm trembling
Yes.
in fear, and even though I'm saying this to me, yes, this really works. If you say good things to yourself, like you
Hmm.
do a self talk there, you give a positive affirmation to you, that really
Yes.
helps. Because when good things we think, we have some good things, good thoughts about ourselves, so this manifest, at the same moment we feel like that. If I'm like annoyed with somebody, so first of all it's in my mind, okay, and after that what happens, I feel like I start feeling like I'm not feeling good, I'm like stressed, I'm like depressed. So how did this start? From the feeling was like I'm annoying with that particular person, and then
Hmm.
the thought, basically it was the thought that occurs, that first of all it occurs in my mind, and then I start feeling like I'm annoyed, I'm quite like I'm not going to talk with that particular person, I'm furious with other person, like with this. So it I can say it starts from the one thought, whether it's a good
Yeah.
or bad, it depends.
Amazing, ma'am. Amazing. Actually, I just want to add and on something in this. If anybody thinks that someone is better than me, and he or she is just making comparison, so first of all, if someone is making comparison, so he or she should make comparison with ourselves only, and not
Absolutely.
with others. Suppose if you are talking to a person who is very fluent and whose speaking is excellent, and he is proficient in the language, so it means the level at which he or she is just now. So it has taken times to reach at that level. And that time, if you want to compare, then you should think that at what time you have started, and
Yeah.
how much you have done at this level. Where if you have done very good efforts, you have made very good efforts within the short period of time, like a couple of months and a couple of days, so that time you can see that it is a reward for you that you are able to speak at least this
Yes, yes,
much. Yes, if you
yes.
want to make comparison, just make comparison with your own, not with others. Yeah, that
Absolutely.
time you can get a fluency in proper manner. Yeah, it takes time. It's a long process.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
absolutely. I totally agree. And the thing is, the other person's journey is totally different. We don't know about the other
Hmm.
person's journey, or the other person maybe. And our journey is totally different. So
Yes.
it differs, and it varies person to person, individual to individual, and we cannot compare ourselves to other. If
Hmm.
you really want to compare yourself, then compare yourself, your
Hmm.
your efforts you earlier put in, and now what you do, and at like what extent you can put in efforts, and
Yes.
how can you like excel your English language, how can you hone your English. So that really matters, and for that what you are
So
doing
true.
nowadays.
Yeah.
So, and it's all your like a thought process, it's or like your perspective. Yeah.
Yes. Very true, ma'am. Very true. And if we think that why we are getting nervous, so there one point also comes in my mind, that is fear. We always have fear of judging by someone, है ना?
Yes.
that if we can be judged anytime with other persons, and we can make mistakes, and so when we are so much aware about ourselves na, so we are surely going to create mistakes. We are surely going to make mistakes. Yeah,
Yes,
we
yes,
should think.
absolutely.
And if we are just going to make any conversation, so we should do our homework also.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, that really matters. It is we, and we have to do things. We have to put in efforts. Okay, if you like lose your weight, so you have to do the workouts. Nobody is going to
yes,
do that on behalf of yours.
really.
So that really matters. You want to
Yeah,
learn how to swim, so you have to like get into the water. Okay,
hmm,
it's not about this theoretically. You are doing a lot of things. You are reading a lot of things. Okay, and
really.
you are doing nothing. Meaning you are not just bringing it practically. You are not implementing the same thing. You are
Yes,
just reading it and having a lot of knowledge, but it's not, it's not up to the mark. You must plunge into that.
yeah, yeah, ma'am. It's quite true and correct. Yes. So, ma'am, I think whatever we have discussed, it's going to be fruitful for our learners also. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you have just given your best to give the answers, and I love your answers, whatever you have said. Good
Thank
one.
you. Thank you for your words.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think we should wind up the session now.
Yes, sure, absolutely. And it was very enthralling conversation we had. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. And really, now take care yourself. Bye bye.
Bye. Take care.